Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Metal Magdalene with Jet right here on Metal Messiah Radio. Tonight I'm joined by guest, who shall remain nameless, of the band Ghost Bath. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So first of all, explain to people what a ghost bath is and how the name ties into the kind of art you all make through your music.
Sure. When I originally started the band, my idea was to start a DSBM band, which is depressive suicidal black metal. It's a genre I've gotten into, and the name Ghost Bath refers to the poet Sylvia Plath. She attempted suicide by walking straight into the ocean and trying to drown herself, and she actually lived through that and later stuck her head in an oven to die. But the act itself of you walking into the ocean and drowning, that's what I call a ghost bath. And so I think that fit really well with a lot of themes of depressive suicidal black metal, and so that's where the name came from.
And why, what is it about this music that drew you into wanting to make this kind of music yourself? You're not a depressive suicidal person, are you?
I don't know. I think for the most part, the music itself actually helps people, and when you first hear the name or think about people listening to that type of music, I think the initial reaction is that it makes me think it does the opposite. And what first drew me into it, I think I realized that I listened to when I very first hear it, and I don't really like it too much, but then it grows on me. Those are the albums I still listen to and that last with me for a while, and especially with this type of music, I think my first reaction was laughing at it and not really liking it, but it just really started to grow on me, and so I think that got me interested in it at first.
And so tell us why, you wish for all your band members to remain nameless.
I don't know. It wasn't like a carefully planned thing. At first I just didn't want anyone to know who we were, but I wasn't super careful about hiding our identity, really. I think, I don't know, the mysterious aspect of it, if you don't have a name to go with the music, it's sort of more all-encompassing, and I think instead of thinking, oh, this is the music from this guy, you sort of frame it differently, and you think of it as just this entity by itself, I guess.
And so tell us, how do you go about writing and creating music for the band? Well, my process basically involves whenever I'm in kind of a dark state of mind, basically that's when I'm most creative, and I just sit down at my computer with my guitar, and then I'll write an entire song or two. Usually, well, always, I'll write a song in a single session. I think probably the fastest session would be 3 hours, and sometimes it can take 7-8 hours, but I'll sit at the computer and I'll work at it until I'm done, just using my guitar and the software on the computer. And I don't like going back and changing things, because I think that makes it sort of less honest, at least to me, and usually makes it worse than the original idea. So I kind of leave it at that, and then of course when I go to the studio, I do recreate it. But yeah, that's how the writing process goes.
And now, is this writing process, like you said, that you feel a certain emotion and you just like to sit down and get it out in music? So is it kind of emotional for you then when you're doing all this?
I don't know. I think I see it more as sort of an escape, sort of escapism. So it's not because I don't actually write the vocals at that time. I write all of the music, and so for me, it's just getting lost. Like I'll be sitting at the computer and I won't eat for like 8 hours all day, and I'll forget, and then I'll be like, oh, I'm really hungry. So like it's kind of like getting lost in like a good book or something, or watching a TV show. I just kind of zone out and of life and like zone into writing the music.
And so what about then lyrics and vocalizations, really, because there's a lot of that in this music. What are you envisioning then when you're writing the lyrics to this music and where the vocalizations come in and stuff?
Okay, well, as far as the lyrics for this new album, I wrote a kind of a parable, like a short story for each track, and the lyrics are the spoken words, the dialogue in the story, and I don't know, I just thought it'd be something different, something cool to try. So all the stories have the same feel and mood of the music on the album. My basic idea for Starmourner is it's more of a joyful, like happy sounding album, and I've been picking out this one particular part of one of the stories I wrote because I think it fits the description of how I wanted to portray the vocals so well. And basically, in the story, the character is trying to ascend to heaven. He's walking up all these stairs, and he finally gets up there, and he's floating in the middle, and all these angels are around him, dancing and holding hands and worshiping, and he's sort of in the middle, and he feels alone because he's like the only human there. So I imagine the vocals coming from that character, and the music is all the angels and everything going on around him. So
are there any basic lyrical themes throughout this album?
Yes. I explore from the perspective mostly of, and I don't actually believe in these supernatural beings, but I use them as a device I'm exploring like free will that shows up a lot because I always thought it was interesting that I learned, or at least according to Christianity, we're lucky because we're humans because we get free will, and the angels are basically forced to worship. So I take a lot of these stories and themes, and I give a certain angel what if they had free will, or and then I also explore free will from the human perspective on a couple stories as well.
Now, would you consider this a joyful album or a depressing album? How would you personally describe this album?
Personally, I would say it's pretty dark and depressing. I know I think on the surface it sounds happy and because it's so melodic and uplifting sounding, but in my mind, if you really listen and I guess you can read the stories too, but you don't even have to. If you listen, just imagine the vocals are sort of a separate thing, and all the joy and stuff is happening around this person or you as the listener, and you're not actually taking part in them.
So you had mentioned earlier how you have a booklet that accompanies this album, and it kind of goes along with every song, and there's a little like parable and art with that. Who was the artist for this, and tell us a little bit about that.
The artist is Luciana Nadelia. She's from Transylvania, and I saw her artwork for a band, Mericognitum. They're sort of spacey, black metal type stuff, atmospheric, and I really liked it, so I contacted her, and she worked with me. Some of the paintings were actually ones she already had done that I thought fit really well, and then other ones she listened to the music and read the stories and painted them for me.
So how many tracks are actually on this album?
There are 12 tracks, and so there are 12 paintings, 12 stories as well.
That's awesome.
Oh, plus the cover, sorry.
Plus the cover. And okay, so now this is going to be released both on vinyl. Will it be released on vinyl as well as, CD?
Yeah, I think there's 3 different colors for North America. There's going to be with Nuclear Blast. They're also doing a cassette release of it and a CD release of it. And then in Europe, on Northern Silence, I think he's going to have 3 different color vinyl as well, and CDs there also.
Now, are you guys going to be doing some touring this year to follow up the album?
Yeah, as much as we can. We start mid-April next month, and that's a U.S. tour headlining with Astronoid. Those guys are great if you've never listened to them. And then we head to Europe for about 2 months, doing both supporting and some headlining. We're playing with Catatonia, Heritoire, Trap Them, and Crippled Black Phoenix on various different dates.
All right, now if people want to learn more about the band, do you have any websites or, Facebook? Where's the best places for people to go?
I mean, we have pretty much everything. If you have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Bandcamp, I don't know. We do have a website where you can pre-order the album. You can also see all of the paintings and read all of the stories right there on the site. It's just ghostbath.com.
All right, great. And again, Starmourner out April 21st on Nuclear Blast Records. And I just wanted to thank you for taking the time to tell us about your art and album, and all the best to you and the album this year.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.